Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk Overreaction Monday, Week 16. It's going to be a great Monday here, boys. But today, before we get into the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button. It helps out the channel a lot. Today, we're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and their path to the playoffs. And how is this an overreaction? Guys, this team was 0-3, 1-4. This was the Bengals season is over not too long ago. Guess what? After beating the Browns today, 24-6, the Cincinnati Bengals are now 7-8 after starting 0-3, 1-4. They're now 7-8. They've been on an absolute tear lately, and they are technically in the playoff spots, or technically in the hunt on the bubble to make the playoffs. So it's going to come out to the very last game, most likely. They're going to have to win out. They got the Broncos and Steelers coming up, but Vincent's about to lay it all down for you on how the Bengals potentially, because it's not 100% guaranteed, they need other stuff to go for them, how the Bengals make the playoffs. Vincent, take it away.
So I would just say that the Bengals right now are in a 3-game winning streak. The teams that they beat are not all that to rave about. It was the Dallas Cowboys, Tennessee Titans, and then this past week, the Cleveland Browns starting DTR as their starting quarterback over Jameis Winston. So, again, it wasn't, the best wins that they could have possibly gotten, but Reed said they have Denver next and Pittsburgh. So if they were to win out here, they would end the season 9-8, which is a winning record, something that probably none of us thought was going to happen for the Bengals. But here is the other side of it, because they can win out as much as they want, but if these other teams don't lose out, then their road to the playoffs is kaput. So I'm going to go with the easiest way possible. If the Chargers lose out, which I don't think they will with the teams that they have facing them. So I'm not going to really talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Denver Broncos losing out, because next week on Saturday, December 28th, another Saturday game, love it, Cincinnati is going to be facing the Denver Broncos. And that is the setup right there. If the Bengals beat the Broncos, they are 1 game below them. So they would also need the Denver Broncos to go to Kansas City, which is a very plausible game if Kansas City doesn't sit their starters, which is highly probable, maybe just depending on their situation, if they want to get the first round bye, if somebody else might take it. You never know, right? So Denver is going to play Kansas City in the last week, so they very well could lose that game too. And if they do, and Cincinnati goes ahead and wins against Pittsburgh that week, getting 2 more dubs, going to 9-8, they have the tiebreaker over the Denver Broncos. So that is their path to the playoffs here. I think it's one of the most interesting ones because, as Reed said, they started off 1-4, and we had counted them out way too early because Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins too. I mean, Brown, the running back, they've all been phenomenal. That offense has been phenomenal. It's the defense that really holds them back. So I think right now this team is scary. If they happen to even make the playoffs, I think the AFC definitely needs to watch out. I won't talk too much more because, again, it's a very big hypothetical, and it's probably the biggest hypothetical this year of a team resurging back from 1-4 and actually making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting situation. I think I would love to see it happen just because I know they can actually make some noise in the playoffs, technically. So I would love for them to be able to do it. I think it also help Joe Burrow's chances of winning the MVP, like me and Vince think he should. I think it would very much help his chances if his team was actually in the playoffs, because there's just something about wins and quarterbacks that the voters think is very, very important or whatever, even though he's playing better than anybody else right now. But definitely interesting scenario. I hope they are able to do it. I would love to see the Broncos. I would love to see the Broncos knocked out of those playoffs. Sean Payton losing, Bo Nix being out of there. I don't hate Bo Nix, but I do not like Sean Payton. Yeah. So I would really love to see that happen, though.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Like I said, it's probably one of the most interesting scenarios out there. I would talk about the Seahawks scenario, but it's not interesting at all because we're not a team that's contending right now like the Cincinnati Bengals. So definitely something to keep your eyes on.
And that we will. Let us know down in the comments if you think that the Bengals are in or are they out. Okay, put it down in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Watch us tonight. We're gonna be live for the Packers and Saints Monday Night Football. Me and Vince will be there. Come hang out with us. And until then, keep on grinding.